All right, going live, see what happens tonight. Get a few people in here, start talking tanks and fish and coral. And I'm sure it'll break down into other things. Always does. Kind of hoping tomorrow is not the next day. I'm going to actually have something streaming in the background at all times, but I got to work out a few technical details. So. Hopefully get some people in here, start quibbling. Lots of bored reefers like me that just don't go to sleep. Tanks are asleep, so it's not like I can do a lot. So I'm going to read off some of the stuff I got in a few Facebook groups there, especially for gear and just to help people out if they got a question. It's kind of funny. I just popped into another one, and I've been noticing this lately. It's been New Brunswick, so it's in my hometown. There's a 130-gallon tank for sale, drilled at 6 feet long. It's a nice big tank. Some crappy lights on there, but it's a good start. Oh, he drilled out the end though. Look at that. Why would you drill the side? Well, I suppose if that's what you got, right? Looking to sell, looking to sell. What a sin. That's too bad. I hate seeing people get out of the hobby, but people have their reasons they get out. It's too bad. That's a pretty good deal. Light stand, 30-gallon bow front tank and everything. Corellia power heads times 2. They're too big. A Tunzi 9004 comm line. 15-gallon sump to go with it. $400 with an Evergrow full spectrum LED. Not bad. That's too bad. It always makes me a little sad. Really? There's 3 people? Say hola in the chat. Share, like, and subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. To the 2, 3 people watching. 2. Hey, Angelic. What's going on, buddy? Get a few people going in here again tonight. That'd be fun for a couple hours. Yeah, I'm my 20 gallon setup there, the pump. Oh man, I got beautiful, wonderful, horrible story today about that pump. Yeah, but yeah, I'm my salinity in those tanks, because they're not running in conjunction right now, and the sump's got a pump in it, and I'm doing good, and I got a filter slash pump running in the main system. The salinity went up on me because I got the auto top off shut off. I wasn't even considering that, because I think auto top off. So the salinity crept up in the main system up to 28, and the sump's about 28 too, so a little higher, because I've never dumped water in that after I kind of noticed. So tonight I'm just dripping uh, fresh RODI in there tonight, just getting it lowered slowly. So my fish don't get screwed up, so the corals don't get stressed out. And I should have my new pump Monday. Yeah. Yeah, and I got them upgraded to from a DCS 2000, which was a Coral Box version, which was crap. They're trying to tell me that it worked just fine, and I'm like, I hate to beg to differ, man. I said, but it had no head pressure on it. Well, we were running up a straight tube 4 feet. I said, straight up's one thing. I said, it's got to go around a 45 and a 90. I said, if it's killing it that hard, I said, you got the video to see. And he goes, yeah, we were looking at it. We can't figure out how that was happening. And I'm like, well, then what are we going to do? So for $20, I upgraded it to the DCP 3000 JVO. So it won't be a Coral Box unit, it'll be an actual JVO unit. And it's got a few other, it's got the sign, so it actually does wave making function as a return pump. Really interested to see how that's going to work. Well, I don't want to blow a butt ton of money, but at the same token, and I got I had a few things come across my table today, fish wise, and I was reading earlier, and if you go back and listen to it, I usually go through a couple of the Facebook groups that I'm affiliated with, just to see what people are doing. And man, there's a guy selling a 130 gallon 6-foot tank, everything, and I think it's like $400 is all he wants. Hopefully, a few other people. Did the notification come out? Is that how you found out I was on, or? But yeah, gonna be a lot of silence tonight. I just got on because I just had a day. I just didn't want to. There's a hooray for somebody party that just gets on my nerves after a while. I was in Reef Community Worldwide there for a bit today. Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, at least it is actually saying I'm on. No. Don't want that up. There we go. Nope. Hello to the next person that popped in there. Welcome to a late night hangout with Reefer Madness, I guess is what it's going to be. Get 3-4 more people and we can get to quibbling. Oh, man, we enjoy talking to you. Love to see Bubba and the rest of them get on tonight, too. They might. We're all kind of Nighthawks. Usually how it'll go is you just hang out long enough. Generally, the Nighthawks will sort of see you're on. They'll pop in. You'll wind up with about 7 or 8 people. I'm usually happy at about 10. I need more than 20, and it gets kind of hard to keep the chat straight, right? I got a buddy all excited because I'm going to give him a frag of scrambled egg Zoas, 4 heads for like here. And he's like, really? That's $100. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I know you. I know you're just starting out, man. Here, there's some nice Zoas that you shouldn't be able to kill. You can get on now if you want. Yeah. Oh, you can hear me rolling the smoke. There you go. That's some YouTube action right there. You can hear Reefer Madness / Craig rolling cigarettes. And tapping cigarettes. Well, I'm like, share the love forward, right? You know, to the guys that are kind of listening and they're doing it as best they can versus, you know, like that guy yesterday I was really getting pissed at. You know what I mean? Like guys like that, they just, I'm not giving you nothing, man. You pay me, go ahead. You pay to kill it. I'm not into that whatsoever. If you're going to get into the hobby to destroy the wildlife that you're, you know, going to look after, then what the hell? Why would I give that to you? You know, like, I don't know. That part gets on my nerves a little bit. Yeah, and there was another setup. Actually, I saw this going for sale in my province too. A guy's got a 30-gallon bow front, which I've never heard of a 30-gallon bow front, so I'm pretty sure it's a 45 Fluval, but whatever. With an Evergrow full LED, full controllable light, a 9004 Comline Tunzi skimmer, a few other things, and it's all almost brand new. And all he wants is $400. That's a great starter kit right there. Somebody can get in. The pumps are there. Everything's there. Pumps are a little big. The Powerheads wave makers. It just makes me sad that, you know, people get in and they don't realize, like we all talk about that. It's like, you know, it is the equivalent of, you think gambling takes money fast. You know, a fish tank is basically fill it with gasoline and set it on fire. That's it, and money. You know, like, there you go. Till you get to a certain point. And I try and tell people, you're going to spend a couple thousand. You are. There's just no way out of it. This hobby will make you spend a couple grand. But if you're smart about it, you'll enjoy it while you're spending that 2 grand versus, chasing numbers and doing all the other crazy crap that people go through with this hobby. I was thinking about it after I was talking to you yesterday, Angela. Like, it blows my mind to think there was a time that guys would set tanks up with under gravel filters and try to make that work. And I was thinking about it the other day, like, how the hell would I make that work? And it was, wait a minute, it would be the opposite of that. It would be nothing but work. You would just be sitting there working that tank 24/7. Oh, that's all I see. Most of the Facebook groups, that's all I see are guys chasing numbers. Nitrates. My nitrates are high. Okay, is everything okay in the tank? Yeah, then relax. Work at it, change something, and then let it rest for a week and see if it comes around. Like the best one's Nopox, right? Everyone thinks this is the magic bullet, no matter who the product's from, right? So carbon dosing is what you're doing. I started sugar, it's still not coming down. I started vodka, it's still not coming down. It's like, it's going to take time for that bacteria to catch up, to this. And well, it's not bacteria, it's carbon. What do you okay. I spent a lot of my time saying, okay. You got it, Angelic. It's process. If you can be patient, everything will come around eventually. Even if it's bad, it will come around, but let you deal with it. MOP, which MOP? You mean Nopox? Yeah, it's basically a methanol. Yeah, it's a carbon. It's just high grade. Would that be the right way to say? I guess it's like high grade carbon with a light alcohol base on it. And Nopox, if it's purer than most vodka, which is what I've been led to believe and what I've read, same with refined sugar. You're dealing with the same thing. It's when you try to explain that to people that what you're doing when you're dosing Nopox is the exact same thing. It's just it's much more refined. Red Sea's going to be more stringent to a degree. Now, the problem that we deal with in this hobby is all these companies are in competition with each other, so they don't want to let you know what they're putting in there. So it's a little hard that way to not know. But then again, if you look at vodka, unless you have somebody test it for you and tell you what's in it, as far as we know, it's just alcohol, but it's not. There are other things in that water, that alcohol. So Nopox still runs that same problem. You don't know everything they're putting in there. You're just hoping that Red Sea is refining it much better and putting less crap in, right? And hola to the third viewer that's come in. Hello. Welcome to my chat, coffee, and tank talk, I guess. Feel free to say something or ask a question. There's me and Angelic Ways that's actually hanging out in chat here tonight. Has been in the hobby for well over 20 years. I've been doing it for almost 5, I guess, something around that area. So. Do you have it, the MSDS? So that's the, what do you call that? I always forget what that stands for, the MSDS. That's the, hey, Jeff, you were here last night, sir. See, we get a few more people in here. Like I said, we can get to quibbling. Yeah, it's much purer. I think that's what it when you're trying to explain Nopox to people, it's just the same thing. It's just purer, right? So you're putting less junk in your tank. Yeah. Yeah, it's really dangerous crap, isn't it? As I recall, Nopox, actually for human consumption, it would be extremely bad, as I recall. That's interesting, Angelic, that you got that, because I'm betting a lot of the guys that are like, oh, you can never find out what's in it. never thought that you legally are allowed to ask for the MSDS sheet. So it has to tell you if there's anything dangerous in it. WHMIS. I think they call that too, right? It absolutely is, Jeff. If you overdose Nopox, well, I don't know, you'll crash it, but not in the way that you would think. It usually ends up causing that white slime that people see, the bacteria bloom. So if you don't, dial back the dose and you can run a little carbon to help you pull some of that crud out, and then you got to go in and clean up your tank. No, I don't have anything like that. Honestly, I don't. I have Nopox. I haven't used it now in 6 months. I'm going to have to start again because I do need to get some form of carbon going in the tank to kind of offset whatever's happened. But I've just been kind of letting the tank mature so that when I make a change and let it run, I can actually see what it is. Oh, if you stop it suddenly, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I agree. If you're like doing 2-part and you're doing magnesium and you're doing all these, and you have a tank, for the sake of argument, like Rico's, a big tank running all that stuff. If you were to stop it suddenly, he'd have a crash of epic proportions. If any of that stuff shut off and he didn't catch it, which I'm sure he would, but that would be catastrophic. Actually, I don't even know if you could get back fast enough. I've seen a few tanks that I've seen a few things happen. The best one was a doser. I think I was talking about it the other night, and he was dosing vinegar through a doser, and it frigged up and dumped 4 liters of vinegar in overnight into a 40-gallon system, 45-gallon system. Just burnt everything, everything. He, I think out of something like 200 or 300 corals, he managed to save 20. And they suffered. It took months for them to recover. Yeah. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab a drink here, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. But a man has to drink or pee or do what he's got to do, right? Oh, right. I got to take my bloody meds. Haha. Nope. Wait and see if we get a few more people in here. So it says there's 4. And I know Angelic said something and Salt said something. Jeffy? Where are you at in the world, Jeff? I don't know if I asked you that the other night when you were in or not. I know Angelic's out the Midwest there. I'm in Canada. I'll be right back. Wife aggro. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. No big deal. She just reminded me to take my medication too. Haha. I had a heart attack, so I'm on blood pressure meds and I'm diabetic, so. Acids, methanol. Yep. So it's all high grade carbon. So they have a proprietary blend of carbons. What else is in there? Is there any other impurities? Yeah, everything in there would kill you if you drank it or make you really ill. No. Well, let's see. You can fuel a car with ethanol. Acetic acid, well, it's not going to be as bad, but it's bad. Not that they're saying. And then methanol, again, a fuel. So it's basically, it's high grade carbon. So, which would explain why they tell you not to overdose that stuff either, because it's just going to be really, 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 really caustic. No. Huh. That's interesting that they used ethanol. So I wonder what they're using for the other. So 24, so 26%, 28, 33%. So there's about 67% of that product that's other things. Interesting. Rewatching. Yeah, pretty much, Jeff. Consult a mortician. All right. What do we got going on here? There we go. Yeah, I'd really be interested to know why they went with ethanol. I know ethanol's alcohol. Let's face it, we know that's what it is. Um, in fact, you can buy racing gas is ethanol 85. So E85 gas, right? Racing gas. Yeah, it's similar to it's like Purigen. Everyone asked me, what that is. I said that's basically Purigen is a type of deionizing resin. It's just specific. Supersorb. All the other ones are like that too. So just an exchange resin. I don't know if we get anyone else in here, although we haven't been running all that long. So no, definitely got to get someone in here to start yakking with me too here at some point. I hope. I love how this has become the new Pal Talk. You guys remember Pal Talk? A big program where we can make a group room and we'll all hang out in here and we'll all get along and uh-huh. I actually know somebody, speaking of Pal Talk, that at one point could not travel unless they had their computer with them so they could do their Pal Talk group every night. The silliest thing I ever heard. So you can't go away for 3 days without being on this? Really? Yeah. Well, a sand sifting starfish will do a better job, Jeff, than snails. Snails churn up the sand a little, gnat snails, Nassarius snails, but they basically just bury themselves and stay where they are. They don't really move underneath the sand, right? That's kind of a misnomer with them. They do churn it up, but not in the same way. But a sand sifter, he will move quite a bit underneath. So they have a high mortality rate, though. I would say so, Jeff or Angelic, with the ethanol, probably. You'd have to ask a chemist, though. I'm just not that up on it. Like I know with Purigen, you would soak it in bleach when it's consumed up as much as it can. That would force the detritus and stuff out of the resin. And then you would rinse it and then let it soak again overnight in prime. And it would let the prime see again, you're using it to lock stuff up, right? So I tried to tell people like the less chemical you throw in your tank, the better. But if you need to use something, look for something that's gentle versus really, really, harsh. But everybody wants a quick fix. Welcome to the microwave age, right? I need instant gratification. He might. He might not. I used to have to keep sand sifters in a separate tank to cut their legs off to give to my Harlequin shrimp. I miss him. He was so much fun. I would, lower that down into the tank. He'd come running out to grab it every time. And when my 20 gallon took a swing way back a couple of years ago, he did make it because whatever it was he was sensitive enough to it. Well, and that's just it, right? The whole what you're doing, a cause and effect is everything in a reef tank, right? Not to get too philosophical about it, but if you're putting something in, it's the old idea with your body: garbage in, garbage out, right? Yeah, these are the talks I like to have. I want to have not necessarily super technical, but let's not talk about the weather. Weathertainment ticks me off to no end. You know, uh, I love how the Weather Network actually has a rating. You know, that means people are watching it for more than 20 minutes. Like, really? You just need to find out what the damn weather is. Look out your window, you knob. Oh no, actually, well, Jeff, I was drinking coffee. I'm a huge Coca-Cola fan. I've cut way back since I became diabetic, but I actually have to trade drinking that for other stuff, right? So I'm trying to tell people that when I'm in the clinic, and they're trying to figure out why my A1C and other blood tests come up fairly decent versus, oh, whatever. You retract any message you want. What did it give you grief on writing, Jeff? Coke? There will be no talk of drugs. And here we go. Let's get a good spread on this. I'm 46. And Angelic, I think you mentioned you were 44, I think. Your wife is giving you a chemist lesson. Is she a chemistry major? Something cool? You're 42. That's right. I thought you said something like that. And I'm going to bet Jeff's well above 30. Look at that. So I was thinking about this the other day. There are very few that I meet in the hobby that are above 20, but she has the schooling. Cool. Any of the ones I find in the 20 to 35 range, the impatience level is humongous. These are the ones that are coming and going, I want to dump this in the tank, or I want to do this, or I want to start dosing. And it's like, well, what do you need to dose for? This, and this. How many corals do you have? 4. You don't need to dose. Like it'd be like me going in and start dosing my, I dose calcium additive and I dose a little bit of magnesium additive because I use IO purple, and because it's the regular Instant Ocean, it's a little lacking. So yeah, you've got 20 years doing it too. And that's just it. These guys that are new in the first 5 years, I find are so impatient, and everyone's like, well, you've only been doing it for less than 5. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I hung out with good information. I hung out with people that gave me good information. And it's probably why I got so turned off of forums. I just want to throw my middle finger up all the time when I'm in a forum. I don't even want to talk to anybody. It's just so negative. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to build it up to get to that point. They just want it. Yeah. The microwave thing, right? Oh, isn't there anything faster than a microwave? How fast do you need it to be? Same thing with cars. You watch guys go in, they get RPM or one of these race shops to build their car, and they want it next week instead of being done right. And they end up blowing the crap out of their motor. And it's like, what did you think was going to happen? Mistakes are going to happen if you rush people. Yep, you got it, Jeff. There's tons of good info. The hard part is filtering through the crap, right? Like I'll watch the chat sometimes on some of the streams, and I'm like, no, that's no. You shouldn't do that. But if I bring up my opinion, I get boo-hooed about it. And yeah, okay. Oh, man. Was My Salty Adventure, or whatever his name is, left a comment on one of my videos, and it's like, oh, your tank looks really, hairy, fuzzy. And I'm like, I have mentioned I'm going through a little bit of an algae bloom because of what my wife did with the rock, but okay. I'm dealing with it. I can't really deal with it the way I want to because where the tanks are isolated right now, so there's no real full-on filtration. I'm not going to dose hydrogen peroxide to kill off the algae because I can't get rid of it fast enough right at the moment. But 5 more days, give or take, is not going to kill my tank. Yep. And sometimes it's counterintuitive, Jeff, and you can, chime in. I have seen me tell people, don't do a water change, right? Test your water. What's your levels at, your parameters, right? And it's like, yeah, leave it alone. If you feed the tank, that algae that you're having trouble with right now is going to explode because you're going to give it fresh stuff. You need to exhaust what's going on before you move on, right? So there's that kind of, you got to learn the patience. You got to learn the balance of your tank, right? Or I'm full of crap, one of the two. I'm going to refresh my screen. There we go. Well, you see, Angelic, homeostasis is a joke on the Big Bang Theory, so most people won't believe what you're saying. Do I have a refugium? I do. The refugium, both tanks climbed on me. If you actually watch my video, you can see the setup I did for the 20. Everything's fine. I got a pump running in there now. A little bit of cyano grew on my Chaeto, so that's because of lighting. I was going to turn the lighting off, and I went, no, I want to keep that alive. And not that I can't go grab another handful, but it's coming around now, that tank. But yes, I got a 20-gallon refugium on my 20-gallon tank. I basically wanted to build my wife the ideal dining room tank. So welcome, whoever the fourth person is. Feel free to jump into chat. We're just talking tank stuff and whatnot. If you have a question, feel free to ask that as well. You know what the problem is that I see the viewers jump in, but I'm 30 seconds behind because I'm talking. So, well, you know what? There's a huge argument on that. And the big thing with the argument with that is that I kept a 20-gallon going that looked fantastic on a canister filter because I scheduled my maintenance. And people will poo-poo and say, well, it's easier to do maintenance in a sump. And I think we all mistake refugium and sump, right? Now, if we're talking refugium, I got a question for you. Do you guys consider that the section with the Chaeto and all that, that's the refugium? Or are you talking about the whole sump in general? Because personally, the whole sump in general to me is nothing but a canister filter. The refugium's the part that you're building that sump for, to me, so that you can keep Chaeto to help deal with your nutrients and to put good stuff back in the tank and to put stuff in that regard. And the rest of the sump is basically, you know, yeah. Oh, hey, Justa. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to my chat. You can hop into. Do you want to hop into the Hangout, or do you just want to hang out and chat? I think you've been yakking all day, haven't you? Actually, you know what? Julian Sprung's pretty keen on that one. That he's absolutely. I think he's correct because even your tank is actually part of the refugium because it's doing a lot of the work. Beat them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Mine are on a starvation day. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see me with food over the tank tomorrow. But if I feed them every day, which is what most people want to do, my fish don't do their job. I want them pecking at my rock, eat my stuff that's in there that I don't want. Here we go. Let's start a debate that's fun. How many people here notice when they're talking to fellow reefers and that they feed every day, especially when they don't need to? Like they're not dealing with leer tails or something that, is a high energy fish. With a refugium, yeah, that's another big debate too. How big should it be? You know what? Ideally, from what I have read from most of the pros, they almost say double the size of your actual display if you want to make it useful. And I'm not sure I agree with that. Yeah. Now, I used to feed and do go through periods where I feed twice a day, but I watch my tank, and if it looks like there isn't a lot for them to feed off the rock and go do their work. Yeah, Bartlett's Anthias. Oh, don't tell my wife you have Bartlett's Anthias, man. Oh, don't. I kind of do, but see what I'm saying? Like leer tails, any of the Anthias family, they need to eat a lot. There's a few wrasses I think that are like that too. That you gotta feed them like that all the time. What don't you agree with, but Justa? No, no, yeah, okay. I'm just thinking, geez, did I say something that is, totally off topic? No, absolutely, I don't agree. My 40-gallon sump on my 120 is doing a fantastic job on my tank. I know it is. I know if that wasn't there, I would be having a harder time getting things under control. Yep. Actually, I think one of my videos I show, like I have really good growth in my refugium. For some reason, it's only technically, I guess, almost 10 gallons, the refugium section itself, and I got to peel out a couple of pounds of Chaeto a month. So it's growing. It's doing what I want it to do. So yeah, I would agree with that. I think for me, when it comes down to it, and it's the same thing as everything when people are asking me what size tank should I get and all that, I always tell everybody get the biggest you can afford to work with, overall, unless you're tiptoeing in. If you're going to, just remember that your problems are amplified by a smaller size. Like I can do a 20-gallon tank and keep it under control. And everyone's like, well, I see hair algae in your tank. Yeah, but I test it. And trust me, you would be like, well, geez, where's it coming from? Because there's nothing of the bad stuff really showing up in there. And I know where it came from. Um, yeah, exactly. I don't think a huge refugium is absolutely necessary. I think it's how you look after it. Is the Chaeto growing, or is the Callirpa growing, or if you have the room, or the mangroves growing? That's really what it comes down to. And is it doing the job it's doing? So is the tank feeding the refugium, which in turn then helps keep the tank healthy, right? Hey, Bubba, you want to hop in tonight, or do you want to stay in chat? What are you up to? We're just having a debate about refugium size. And just found out that I thought I was going to have an argument with Justin. No, I'm the other way. I'm right in line with him. Funny enough, which is cool. Oh, well, there you go. We should get in and chat. That's what it is. Coffee, chat, and tanks, man. If you want, you don't have to. Yeah, and whoever wants to hop in, Angelic, you can too, unless you're going to peel wife aggro or something. Are you using canister filter kind of deal? You doing what I did when I first started? Take a breather, man. Have a Dagobah. Yeah, the whole refugium debate. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't know if I can handle Mac now that well. It isn't that I disagree or I'm a pro. It's just sometimes it's so counterintuitive that you just kind of like, oh, I don't know. Oh, you're running Zeovit. There you go. That'll work. Yeah, I think I agree. I was listening to some chat there today in Reefing Worldwide, and they're absolutely correct. Whoever is running the North American side of Triton, he's got to be a total douchebag because they should not be running out of stock, especially in a market that large. There's some people that were just genuinely really excited to try that and to have it, where you can't even get the product. No, that's just crap. And I guess Travis from Fish Hex was offered, or no, Tristan, sorry, Tristan's Reef. They offered him free product. No, we'll have you stocked up and everything else. And he said no. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know. I don't need to do that. I know people that would need to do that system, and I might get there at some point. But right now I'm pretty happy with the way things are running. I want my new pump. I'm hoping that I can dial it back far enough that it isn't too big for a 20 system with a 3 or 4 foot, 3 foot head pressure. I should be able to get it low enough. It's only 726 and it drops down to 4 something. And I was running it at, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure I'll have a good video where I'm crying about it. Oh. Oh, great, Jeff. Now I want coffee again. God damn it. Maybe when Bubba or somebody pops in here, I'll run out and make some more coffee. Yeah, I was having a good look at my 120 today. I'm actually really pleased. It's pretty clear. Oh, me? Yeah, I get a lot of that. That's the musician part, all the years of performance. I think that's where it comes from. Got the voice for it and just got that kind of silly attitude. I'm pretty serious about the hobby, but at the same token, I'm not going to sit down and stress that hard about it. It's like my wife said, the first time that she heard me get exasperated with a forum, she just laughed outright. Just my exasperation was so total. Because it's like, he asked me for my parameters. I already gave him my parameters. Do you not know how to scroll up, you tool bag? I mean, forums have their place, but most of the time I feel for the new guys that get in and, they just crap all over them. And it's like that elitist jerk attitude comes out from people. And it's like, okay, so you know something. So now you have the power. You're flipping He-Man, by the power of Grayskull, screw you, hippie. Neener. I don't know. Sorry. I always flip out about the forums. Pet peeve. Oh, when you get me started, we used to have when I started network administration, back when we had CRT monitors, because I highly recommend you don't punch an LED screen, just telling you. But you used to be able to punch those. And we used to call it the Tink. And we were in class, and it came from the fact that I got ticked off while trying to get a server up and running. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get this IIS 4.0 server running, which is an internet basically Blade server. And all anybody heard was me punch the monitor, and they could hear the Tink and then the rattle of the phase array inside. There's Lisa. How you doing, Lisa? Now, see, there's a voice everybody wants to hear. I should just bring her in and she can talk. I talk too damn much. So Lisa, do you have on that front with helping you get your 4D breeder started? I'm actually really excited about that, actually. Have you gotten a lot of confirmation of what people are sending? They've gotten your address, that kind of thing? That's all right. Just don't swear. I won't swear, I promise. I will break that promise. Yeah, he's going to give you an eShop skimmer hang on the back. So you're going to go filter, I guess is the way I was kind of seeing it going, which is fine. Tina's going to give you a wave maker. Okay. Hey, AR. Jeff, the other Jeff, I do believe. Nope. So, no, we'll get somebody else in here with me or a few here at some point. Thanks for coming in, guys. I actually appreciate it. Always. Don't forget to thumbs up, I guess, if it's important. I have no idea. I was thinking if you want to do a hang on the back filter, an AquaClear 110 will actually let you build a small refugium section in it. There's a ton of videos on it. So you could actually do a small, almost sump on the back of the tank. Hey, Dave, you want to come in, Dave? I need someone else talking so I can go make coffee. Oh yeah, no, trust me, Lisa. When I was doing my 45, that was a huge. I kept looking for a used one because they're kind of expensive. Um, but I was watching the videos on making a refugium out of them, so that you're actually doing the carbon, everything we would do in a sump, but you're doing it on the back of the tank, right? And yeah, Angelic, I think we were talking about that last night. That the 40-gallon breeder is like the ultimate footprint. I think that's why I like my 120 so much. It's like a 40-gallon breeder, just bigger. You have to wake up in 4 hours. What the hell are you still doing up, boy? All right. Well, cool. Because like I said, I gave the information to my guy here at Reef Supplies, and Ray said he's going to mull it over, and he'll get back to me in a day or so, and then basically I'll get your address and everything and give it to him, or I'll get you directly in contact with Ray, and then he will send you off what he's going to send you off. I'm hoping he sends you a light. In all honesty, the ultimate thing he could send you is a light, because that's probably the most expensive piece. Oh, I tell him to go to bed, whatever. Lisa tells him to go to bed just here. Yeah. We'll get a few more people in here. I'm sure someone will pop in with me. And once again, thank you guys for popping into my channel. Night, Dave. Thanks for popping in. Don't forget the thumbs up, you bugger. And you're banned. Dude, I probably wouldn't ban you unless you were. Wow, it would have to be awfully bad. Why on earth would Dave hide him? There we go. Anyway, I'm going to paste it in just in case anybody does want to pop in. There's the link. Again, no pressure. Some people don't like yakking. Dave will tell you any musician can sit down and talk for days, especially about himself. Actually, Jeff, if things work out, Lisa will probably, so I've been told, be doing a setup of her 40 and doing a video of it. And even if the stuff's donated, we can kind of get into cost. That's a 40 breeder technically is about the cheapest way you can get in, really. I can take life and I can give it. Oh, babies cry, buddy. Although, yes, no. This would be like you guys listening to my cat raring off when she's angry because the door is closed to a certain room. Yeah, it doesn't have to be pro, right, Lisa? We were talking about that the other night. You can do very basic. And I think they were even saying that to Rico today about whenever he does his big tank. You don't have to get pro editing and pro everything. I mean, just because I use like Hit Film 4 Express to do my videos and all that, and really I'm not doing anything more complicated than you would do on what do you call it, Windows Movie Maker when it was the thing, which is really hard to get a hold of apparently now. Right. So what you would do is make it simple, right? Record what you want to record, and basically you don't need to really edit. You're just going to put the pieces together. I can help you do that. Hell, you could send it to me and I'll do the editing. Yeah. So if you do raw footage, you could probably give it to any one of us as long as it's in sequence, and we can piece it together, right? And then we send it back to you. You can publish it up, right? Android. Yep. There you go. So Dave probably already knows. Nice. Can't wait to see you, Bubba. I wonder, does anybody know the song that I use for the start of my vids? If you've ever watched any of them, anybody recognize that? Yeah, Power Director. So that's on the. Is that free, Dave? I'd love to. I'm just posting the link just cause. And Dave can probably back me up on this. And you're just yakking away. It's almost like coffee helps you think. So
take a puff, take a sip, take a puff, exactly. Take a sip.
You got it. I'll be right back.
All right. Power Director is a free app. It allows you to take a couple of different clips, put them together. That's basically what I use it for. I'll take a few clips, you can shorten them, you can lengthen them, and you can tie a whole bunch of little videos together and make one video. Then it allows you to do voiceovers, add music. You can use it as much or as little as you want. But it's free. When you use the free version, it puts a little Power Director ink mark or watermark down in the corner of your video. And it also doesn't let you do it in high def. For $5 one time, it takes the watermark away and allows you to upload and save in high definition. So to me, it was a no-brainer. So download it for free, play with it. If you like it, spend the $5. It's worth it. If you don't like it, go try something else. I had a nap today, but I did shovel out my driveway. And I think this is the heaviest snow I've ever picked up. You could only get like whatever the shovel, one shovel worth. You couldn't like drag it and fill the shovel, because then forget it. The shovel wouldn't even, you'd break it. Yeah, I forget. I think it's Cyberlink makes Power Director. So if there's more than one Power Director out there, get the Cyberlink one. You're making intros, Bubba? That's cool. Oh, it also allows you to slow down your video and speed up your video. It's got some cool little title things that can go in. I haven't figured out how to make an actual intro with it yet, like Bubba's talking about, but it's pretty cool. So how's everybody doing? Does anybody else want to come in and talk to Craig? Because obviously I'm not going to be here that long. I see a whole bunch of wrenches in here. All the regulars. Got Bubba. Got AL. Yeah, that's what I said. For the free app, you buy it, you figure it out. It automatically, the one on the phone automatically finds all your videos that are on the phone. So it puts them all up at the top, and you just drag and drop them down. And then it has an audio thing where you can actually take all the audio that's on the video and turn that way down and then do a voiceover. And CJ has a 5-part series. 5 different videos that go over filming in an iPhone, and there's a lot of useful information that even crosses over to Android. So, it's all good.
Welcome, Jamie. Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
I had to I brewed it up. I got to brew it. My wife let it shut off, so it was cold. So I'm like, all right, I'll brew some more. Well, I had a bad day with the old sugars, so I knew I was going to get to a point I was going to have to take a nap.
Oh no.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm good. It was. Somebody asked me, how high are your sugars when they do that? I said, believe it or not, this time it was only 12. And I just got exhausted. Well, I'm mentally exhausted from everything that's been going on the last couple of weeks there with my grandmother's passing and dealing with that poor uncle of mine. And, it's been, yeah, I don't know if you heard the story, Lisa. I'll tell everyone the story. So I got a phone call. I left my uncle's in Halifax on Sunday afternoon. I got a call Monday morning, and he had accused me of stealing burnt DVDs. And alcohol, and you'll know what I'm going through. He's a great guy. He really is. He's an extremely intelligent man. He's just unfortunately got this monkey on his back. And I told Mom, I said, when he called you, was he drunk? And she's like, yeah. I said, so get a hold of him and tell him to relax until after that. He'll probably call you 20 more times, because that's what he did to us. I said, and when he talks to you and he's sober, and ask him. I said, don't even mince words. Don't tiptoe around the issue. Make sure he's sober, and then tell him he put her IDs back in the purse and took them to his room, the whole purse, right? And he called her up the next day, and of course, yeah, he found it. Of course he did, right? And my mother finally shamed him for it and said, you called up Craig and you called me up accusing him of stealing his grandmother's purse.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't even bother, Mom. Whatever. You know, like he can't even get his head around this hobby, right? Like he's watched a couple of videos and he's like, why are you even doing this? Because I enjoy it. You know, it's
from an outside perspective, this is a crazy hobby.
It really
a lot
is.
of money, and all my dye is, it's just. Let me give you a little hint on the link. You're Bitlying them, and that's great, but a lot of times people can't click on the Bitly version.
Okay.
So what you need to do is then copy that, right click it, and it'll say copy link at a copy link address. So copy that, and then next time you paste it, it will be a YouTube redirect, and that allows people to get in. I don't know why, but it just seems to work that way. Because you notice when I drop the link, it's got that YouTube redirect like Loki just put in.
Bitly.com.
No, take the link right from the chat, your Bitly one that's still up there.
Okay.
Right click on that and copy as text or copy link address, I think it's called.
Oh, I see.
And then it puts all the extra characters with the YouTube redirect in it, and it seems to allow more people in. It used to just work. You used to just take the Hangout invite link and put it in the chat, and it used to work. But YouTube had to screw that up.
Yeah, well, they do that. They got their own proprietary form of being D-bags.
Right. And I guess it helps them know, that maybe they get a point every time somebody clicks on a link in the chat. So they had to put some kind of tail end on it. I don't pretend to understand all that, but I just know what works because I live stream a little bit.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, not much. What's going on with you, Justa?
Nothing much.
No, I think we're all a bunch of Nighthawks. Go ahead, man.
Just got done feeding the fish, and I had to drop out because I had to turn the pumps off at the Apex, and I can't figure out how to still live stream while switching over to the Apex dashboard or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you actually can. You're talking about that would be, I have that problem. I actually today spent a better part of the day trying to figure out how to get IP camera to stream in on YouTube while still letting me run the Hangout at the same time. And a buddy of mine says he's got a fix. And I'm like, all right, so I'm just going to wait on him because it's some form of network, like traffic, that we have to get them to link up. So I may have to use OBS Studio or some other crazy thing. And I got halfway there today, and I finally just, the it came up. And I just, no, I'll worry about it later. It's not that important.
Well, you got some company. I'm gonna head to bed, I think.
Do that, my man. Get your arse to bed.
Have a good night, Dave.
Good night, Jeff. Good night, Bubble. Jeff and Jeff. Good night.
Jeff and Jeff. Yeah. No, so we were just talking about refugiums there, and Justin, you made a good point, which is the same one I feel. I don't really think it's all dependent on the size. It's what you're doing with it, right?
Right.
Wow, which really sounds bad.
One more tech tip, and then I'm going.
Okay.
You don't want to leave your links laying in the chat because we have people that come in and do terrible things. And I'll just give you the quick example. Mad Dog from the UK had a live stream going. He left his link in the chat. And somebody came in, shared their screen, played pornography, and reported it to YouTube and kicked everybody out. Now, that's a hack move I don't understand. But he got his channel turned off for 90 days.
Really?
That matters. That's good to know.
So don't leave it in there. Kind of put it out there and then erase it as soon as whoever wanted it got it.
Got it.
And that doesn't mean you're safe. And then you know how to eject people from Hangouts as well?
Yep, I do. That part I got.
Okay, good, because you may need that.
Yeah, you never know.
All right. That's all I got for you. Have a good night.
Dave. Get to bed.
See you, Dave.
Nope. So feeding the fish. I was just talking about. I don't know if you guys are up on. I had a problem with a Jabo / Coralbox DCS 2000 pump, barely pumping. Does anybody remember that? Anyway, I got a hold of the retailer today, And I had sent back the pump already, and they're like, "Oh, it works just fine." And a straight pump, straight up. I said, "Right." I said, "So put 290s on it," and they did. And they're like, "Well, it still works." I'm like, "Yeah, but it kind of works. It should be pumping like crazy." So they did a trade for me and let me upgrade to a DCP 3000 J-Bow. So that'll be coming. I'll get it Monday. But when I went and checked my tanks, because my auto top off isn't on, things went up a little bit. So I've been literally dripping RODI all day, trying to slowly bring the salt down. That's been my day.
Wow. Is that your auto top-off pump, I guess?
Yeah, well, what it is that there's the refugium's no longer connected to the main display. So I have two pumps going. I got one running the refugium just to keep it circulating, and I got one doing like a filter system up in the main display for now. And then when the new pump comes, I'll hook everything back up and it'll all be running again. I totally forgot that I wasn't running an ATO and I wasn't manually topping off. So the salinity climbed from 2.4 to 2.8.
Oh.
No big deal, nothing, but the corals got a little stressed that we're in the tank. So that was my day, was dripping a couple of gallons of water in to take care of the...
just dump it back in to bring it down to 2.5 or whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Bring it down slowly.
Yeah. Night, Jeff. Saltwater, Jeff.
There's way too many Jeffs in this hobby.
There is. There's what, 32 in here right now, aren't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
So at least Daily Reefing and me have an understanding. He's Jeff 500. I'm Jeff 5. Everybody else is just random.
Random, yeah. But no, it's I was telling Lisa too there, so I'm gonna, part of this is on you, Lisa. You have to get on the people that said they were going to give you stuff. Who was going to give you the rock? Do you remember? For your tank? There was someone locally close to you said they were going to donate 40 pounds. You don't need 40 pounds of rock, by the way, but just saying. But when you get that kind of hard line, but like I said, Ray's probably, I'm hoping, going to give you a light. What he's going to give you for a light, I don't know. But I mean, any light is going to be better than, nothing, of course, right? But, well, I shouldn't say any light. Let's be honest. It's got to be for salt water. But I don't know what he'll do, Yeah, straight edge punks, huh? Thanks for doing that, Bubba. Good job. Good catch. Gotta love the internet, though. There's just people with nothing better to do than come in and be a troll, right?
How do they find it, though? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. Like, are you just looking for live streams to jump in and be, I guess, for lack of a better word, his punk?
Somebody got Rico the other night pretty bad.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
We were, it was really late, like really late at night. It was probably even later than this, like 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. And I forget who had the controls, but they weren't on a laptop. So the guy comes in. I don't even know how he got in. I don't even think there was a link in there. And just shoots porn up on the thing. And everybody's like, nobody has the eject button. Nobody has. So thankfully, I guess Rico was still awake and saw it and ejected him. But like it was up for like a good minute or so.
Yeah, Dave just told me about that, and it's like, yeah, I'm here, so of course I have the eject, right? So, I'd be right on that. And I'd grade it. Really, you put that crap up? You're gonna put it up on my stream, man. Make it quality, would you? Yeah. But yeah, it's people just nothing better to do. And you're gonna hear me roll smokes. That's right, because reefing has taken all my money. Really has. Actually, I was laughing with the wife. Like, she's like, "How much did that 20-gallon sump setup cost us?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
$20.
It was cheap.
It was in the dollar pile at Home Depot. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, if you see the video, you see that cabinet, the floating cabinet I made for her for over the tank. That alone was $80. Not a lot of money, but when you consider that all the stuff that was going in it, you know, the light, all the other stuff, you know, she's like, well, how much did this cost? Just this. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I told my wife the other day that an Australian gold torch costs $20.
Reefer girl. Okay. Reefer Gill. Yeah. No, I just got to keep track of this for at least because what I want to make sure people don't forget that they said they were going to do this. You use FERTs? I don't think I want to know what that is. Kind of sounds like a personal problem, Lisa. Yeah, but no, and that's just it. You know, I figured, you know, help someone out who wants to be in it that can't afford. Why not, right? Hey, Al. It's kind of, I don't know how to put it. I'm saying that my wife just looked at me at first, and why not? She's like, well, why are you helping her? And so I told her, right, you know, that, you know, Lisa's got this 5-year-old girl, she's got juvenile diabetes, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, well, that's nice of you. And I'm like, are you mad at me or something? You know, like, really? Thanks, Al. Fertilizer. Ah, gotcha. Now I get it. And then she's like, well, do we have anything we can send her? And I said, well, I was thinking about when we go up to the shop in the next couple of weeks, we'll pick her up a couple of test kits. You know, I can afford a few test kits, right? Because I got to replace some of mine because they went missing for some reason. I got to give my wife credit. She's not really the jealous type.
Is anybody getting any background music or not music, background noise from my speaker?
I don't hear anything.
Not really. Here and there. Nothing big.
All right. Anything bad, just let me know. I'll mute myself.
Nah, it's all right. It's all good. At least you're not eating a bag of chips. We're good.
Nope, just doing the dishes. I guess this is what O feels like.
Yeah, that was hilarious today. I'm like, why do I hear someone doing dishes? I thought it was Mike. Aaron's Aquarium had that happen today, too.
I was always doing dishes.
Anybody doing dishes, it's always O. And now I guess me.
There you go. No, I don't think anybody feels obligated, Lisa. We would only help if we wanted to help.
No, I mean, I don't feel obligated to do it. It's just something that, you know, I like to help people, and I like to bring people into the hobby. So I'm helping somebody, and I'm bringing somebody into the hobby. So it kills two birds with one stone.
You know, I guess from my end, you're already doing tanks, but I would say everyone asks me what my hobby is, and they said it's gluing live animals to rocks and putting dangerous amounts of electricity in salt water. That's my hobby, right? So, you know, why would you do it? I said, look at the tank, right? Look at my fish, you know? Yeah. Well, you know, you don't necessarily. I'll say her name on air. She can mad at me. My wife, she's extremely supportive to a point. You know, because like all of us, there's that point where we go a little mental, and we want something that is rather expensive, and you have to justify that. And really, with her, what's great is she will say, "Well, can't you do it this way?" So I got to guess. From that point of view, where the support comes from for her is to keep me grounded versus do I really need an Apex? I do. I really, really do. But do I need it right now? No, I can get around it.
Nobody needs an Apex.
No.
It's nice to have.
Nice to have, you do not need.
Right.
If you test on a regular basis, you are doing, and you keep an eye on your tank, you are doing the exact same thing. Is it nice that at 3 o'clock in the morning, if a heater fails, it does it for you and then sends an alert? That's nice. That's what I want it for. I don't want it for turning things on and off. That's great. I got timers do the exact same thing. Hell, all my lights run off of Stanley $9 timers. Right? So they turn this one off, this one on, do that for me.
Yep.
That cost me $16.
Yeah, I got a I got a little 20-gallon softy tank. That was my first tank, and it pretty much just runs on a hang-on-the-back refugium.
Yeah. Well, I was
That's
actually
it.
just saying to Lisa, maybe you guys can back me up, but I think she should do an Aqua Clear 110 and build a little mini refugium in it to go with it, right? Because I've seen the videos where guys have done it, and it's really easy. And that would do her just great. Or go
You could
canister.
do that, or you could just buy a hang-on-the-back refugium. I bought
Yeah.
mine.
Get a CPR. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the. I actually went with the cheaper one than the CPR. I think it was less than $100. I don't remember the exact price, but it came with the pump, the light, and it's by Phoenix.
Phoenix builds one. Okay.
Yep, and it's by Phoenix. It comes with a pump and the light, and
I think I know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I have one. I know what you're talking about. You can
So,
also
like, kind of-
you can also get like one of the Aqua Clear 70 filters and just make a refugium out of that too.
that's what he was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what I got one. Actually, Lisa, I would send that to you because I am never going to use it again. It's brand new. I got a brand new Aqua Clear 70 that literally is deep enough to do a little sand bed and a little bit of Chaeto and put a gate on the front. Would work perfect as a little hang-on refugium. Now, mind you, this is where everybody gets into the debate, and you're going to be part of this now. The one good thing about a sump, every time I will say, is the number one thing is it hides all the gear. That's where I agree with anything about it. That's the big thing. So that's the thing. You're going to have those that say, geez, you got all that gear in your tank. You're going to need a skimmer. That's going to be hanging off the back. You got that coming from AR, isn't it? With you, Jeff, isn't it? Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah,
American
that
Reef.
e-shops, right? Yeah. So, and that's great. That it'll work fine, right? Actually, it's funny. I was sitting down thinking, like, we said that night. How many of us have had enough gear to start her tank just sitting in a closet? I have. I know for a fact I've had that much gear. Yeah. Breeder, hang on the back. There we go. So you could actually go a few different ways. We'll see what he does. Let's see what Ray does. I'm really interested to see what he's going to be doing for you. So I'm not going to trounce him either way. I told him you are not obligated as well. He said, no, I'd like to help. And he watched the stream. I sent him the link for the ladies' night stream. And he watched it and he went, okay. And he said, so what does she have? He goes, because that kind of was frenetic at one point. There were so many people saying what they were going to do. And I said, so far we have this. And he went, okay. Is she getting the tank herself? And you are getting the tank yourself, right, Lisa? Okay, so that was his big thing, is that he didn't know if you had a tank yet. So I said, well, she doesn't, but if she knows where she can get one. Does it come with a stand? Do you have a stand for a 40 breeder? And whatnot. So there we go. It's not that, I don't want to derail any conversation here, but we'll get you taken care of. You'll be making videos in a month. Or less. I'm trying to debate if I'm going to make a video between now and Monday, or if I'm just going to wait until the new pump shows up and then do a video of me getting everything hooked back up. Which I'll probably do. And then I got to get back on that stupid hair algae that took off because the rock died while it was getting rockscaped. Yeah. And I had a little explosion. Well, a bow front tank with salt water is okay. I find bow fronts distort the view. I had a 45 Fluval, and that's probably the one you have. And I got tired of, when I would look at it, it was so hard to kind of figure out left to right. When you were looking at something, your distances and things like that. But if you don't mind that effect, because, from a distance, it doesn't really do anything. It just makes it seem bigger. Personally, you'd be happier with a 40-gallon breeder. You'd have more space.
Are boat fronts hard to clean the glass?
They get a little difficult with the scraper. You got to be very gentle. So when you're running those, especially the mag floats and all that, they get a little difficult because you have to run them left to right. With the blade perpendicular. Am I saying that right? Yeah, perpendicular to the glass. You can't go up and down. You never can get it flat, right? And it will scratch. Yeah. Well, a 40-gallon breeder will let you do a few fish very well. Quite a few fish, actually.
Yeah, you could put a. Yeah.
And actually, we would all debate this. Yeah, exactly. You could get away with, if you wanted a fox face, he was going to be your 1-star, fish in the tank. You could do him in that size and look after him, because they're a very lazy fish. They just saunter, thankfully, till they get mad. Watch out. So I'll be right back. You guys can give her tips and stuff too, and we'll keep the chat going. I just got to grab a Java.
I'm still here. I'm just not in the chat and trying to work on these 50 million bottles that we have.
Are they baby bottles?
Yeah.
Oh, those are such a pain to clean.
Yeah, well, you can't put them in the dishwasher. That's the worst part about it. You actually got to hand wash them and then sanitize them and everything else.
Get the kid on sippy cups as soon as you can.
Yeah. Still got a while before that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What size tank do you have?
I still have a 20-gallon softy tank, and then the main tank is a 120.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be getting, a 120 once I get into the new house.
It's been up for a little over a year.
What lights you got over it?
I have 2 Ocean Revives and 2 Reef Bright LED strips.
Nice. Yeah, I like those Reef Brights. They're nice.
Yeah, it's a good mix of light. Because with just 2 Ocean Revives, and the blues are a little bit different, which I like. So I'm getting a little bit of different blues in there between the Ocean Revives and the Reef Brights.
Yeah, Reef Bright has a nice blue to it.
So I got the Ocean Revives going perpendicular, and then the Reef Brights go long ways. So it actually they really fill in some of the spots like the Ocean Revives might have trouble hitting. I feel like it's almost kind of like adding T5s because it kind of the Ocean or not the Reef Brights, since they're that long strip light.
Yeah, actually, I have a 30-gallon all-in-one JBJ that I won at Reefapalooza last year that I'm going to set up in the new house right away, and I'm actually thinking about just doing T5s over that tank.
Yeah, you'll be successful with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about getting
which Reefapalooza did you go to?
New York. I go to the New York one every year.
Nice.
Yeah, I was there last year.
Oh, were you?
We're gonna go back this year too.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking so forward to that show.
Yeah, my wife really enjoyed it, and she's not even into it that much.
Yeah.
But she was just like, everybody was so nice. Yeah.
Oh, Don asking me about a pump. Oh, I had a DCS 2000, Don. It's failed. They argued with me, but now I've got a DCP 3000 Jabo coming on Monday. So just answer that question.
What day were you there? Were you there both days or one day?
We just went Sunday. My wife travels a lot, so She has, and then we have a Marriott credit card, so we get a lot of Marriott rewards points. So
Nice.
we got a free room.
Were you over at the raffle area for a while?
I was at the raffle area when they were doing the raffle.
Did you have raffles? Because I was talking to like a husband and wife that was there for a little bit, and there wasn't too many husband and wife teams there, so maybe it was you.
Were there two little kids there?
Nope, not you. Never mind.
Nope.
Kids love the hobby, do they?
No, but
No.
yeah. I mean, my daughter, she, I catch them looking at the tank, but she knows all the names of the fish and most of the corals, so she's kind of into it, but I wouldn't say she's
Right into it. Yeah.
real into it.
My 3-year-old loves it.
It's good.
That's my saving grace for my wife.
Yeah, Bubba, I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping I should be able to put it down almost to its lowest setting, and I will not need to run a wave maker in that tank. That should be more than enough flow for a 20-gallon long. That's the hope, anyway. We'll see. The video should be good. You guys ever see the video of me turning on the needle wheel impeller for the bubble blaster and accidentally, while out of the water, then putting it into the water and spraying water in my face?
I haven't seen that one, but I'll definitely check it out now.
Go look for it. It's plenty brilliant. Like, really, what were you thinking was going to happen there, Craig? Yeah. And it was just frustration, right? Nobody wants, that Super Reef Octopus 2000 that I have was only 9 months old. So what I figure is that a chunk of coral must have got in there or a chunk of sand, and it nicked the impeller magnet and then made it imbalanced, right? So what it was doing was it would work, and then it would kind of slowly go out, especially when it would heat up. And then it would not necessarily stop, but it would barely be running. So, and it ended up, it cost me $120 because that's how much the impeller for that bubble blaster costs.
Those bubble blaster pumps are expensive.
Yeah, they are spent $300, man, for a HY 2000.
And those just run your protein skimmer, right?
That's just for the protein skimmer. You got her.
Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't delete it, Bubba. That is hilarious. My wife said, you have to put that up. I said, okay.
You think it's worth it?
Honestly, I have seen the new DC 500 Coral box, which is mildly bigger, and it is more adjustable. The problem I have most of the time with my my octopus is any change in water level. It doesn't necessarily not work, but it can get really weird. It's almost like it's fussy. Like, I need 7.5 inches of water, period, at all times, and you can't touch this. And if you clean the cup, I'm going to make you readjust me. That's what I seem to run into.
Really? Which
Yeah.
one do you have? Because I have a Reef Octopus
Super 2000.
150i. And I didn't have a problem. It really broke in like day 1 or 2. And
Oh, yeah. No, broke in
and
great.
then-
No.
And then it's pretty much set it and forget it. Every
I
time
think
clean
it was that I haven't touched it since I replaced the impeller, so I'm guessing the impeller had a lot to do with it.
You know what the nice thing is? I got the trigger system sump, and when
So
I
jealous.
turn off the return, I don't have to turn off the skimmer because the skimmer section water doesn't change when I turn off the return.
Oh, yeah. There
I
you
don't
go.
have to- I don't have to worry about it overflowing when I
See, I
turn
have
off the return part.
I use one of those American DJ power centers, and of course, I labeled everything. So what I do now, and smart enough that I remember to most of the time,
Just flip a switch.
flick the switch, shut it off, shut off the ATO, and do my work, and then turn this on, and when it all levels off, turn the ATO back on. So there's where an Apex comes in handy, but I'm sitting there going, really? It's 3 switches in 4 minutes of my time.
Right.
That's where I don't get it, right? Like I got a reef keeper. I could add on to that greatly. Could actually for like $600, I could do both tanks. So it's kind of still leaning that way, but we'll see. I haven't really made a decision on that yet. I'm not in a hurry either. My tanks are so much.
I almost went with the Reef Keeper instead of the Apex.
It's cost. That's all. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I guess the only real difference that I could tell was basically if you're not home, the Reef Keeper, you're in the dark, basically.
Yeah.
You need that display pad to see what's going on.
Yep. It's not like an Apex where you can tell it to do... the skimmer pump failure vid. That's the one. I even did effects and everything in that one. You can see how crazy you can go if you want to go that way. Lightning shooting out of my eyes, setting buckets on fire, and I got to start doing that again. People seem to really dig me setting corals on fire when I got pissed off. Yeah.
Speaking of lightning, I saw lightning today during a snowstorm.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty used to that. Canada, we get that quite a bit actually.
Really, you got thunder snow?
Thunder snow.
Yeah, we've had some. We were sitting out. Oddly enough, the power had gone out. This a little while back, and we're sitting down. Just I got a generator at that time. It was at my house, so we were not completely in the dark, and we were having instant coffee because you could run the kettle, but you couldn't run the coffee maker. With just too harsh, I guess, too much power load. And we could see this blue light flashing outside, and we figured it was the transformer had blown, and that's why we didn't have power. And then we noticed it was really, all of a sudden you heard the thunderclap, and it's like, oh. So we went outside, and when I say it was snowing, this is at this point there was 7 inches on the ground. Right, so it was really snowing, and it was still snowing, and snowed for.
That's how it was today.
Yeah,
it was happening.
I feel for you guys, but I mean, I've lived through snowstorms that would turn your arse white, literally. Yeah.
It wasn't so much the amount of snow. Today the snow was the heaviest snow I've ever had to shovel in my life.
Yeah, so it was really wet.
It was melting already, which made it like
infinitely heavier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needless to say, I took about 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen today because my back was killing me.
Oh, so Lisa finally saw it. I told you it's funny. Just still thinking back to that, I was just so bloody frustrated because everything was running so well at that point, and then everything just kind of went south, with that pump. So there you go. Things fail, right? That's welcome to reef keeping. I have no other response.
This is what we got today.
That's about what? That's a good 6 inches.
Nah, it's over that. It's got to be.
We got 10
almost
in here.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 10.
That's a normal day in Canada, ain't it, Lisa? But you know what?
It's a day in July.
That's a day in July. Well, you ready, guys? If you look up Eastern Canada weather, like you're gonna, we had a snowstorm in April of 2015, and we got 8.5 feet of snow in 24 hours.
8.5 feet?
8.5 feet. So the whole city the whole province shut down.
My boss would still want me to come into work.
What, with that kind of snow, or he wants you right now?
No, he wanted me to go in today.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yes, risk your life for the job, please.
Even at 8 feet of snow, he'd tell me I have to come in. I'd say no.
Oh, yeah, we had the same thing.
I felt bad.
They're like, oh, we'll put you up in a hotel. I'd still have to get there, you knob. Anyway, it shut the city down. They had nowhere to put it. So they were piling it up on a pier. And they were complaining that they're putting too much fresh water in the ocean. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Like, you're just sitting there going, wow, you guys never heard of rain.
Yeah, it's going to all end up in the ocean eventually, right?
Yeah. How would you like to do it, right? So anyway, so they were trucking it on the taxpayers' dollar out of the city. But it was funny that you say snow in July. We were looking at that pier where the pile was. it was still there in July after
I bet.
in April. Like it was just black, right?
Yeah.
So it's this big black pile, right? That, you know, it's like, why doesn't somebody just go down there with a hose and spray that? Oh, we're not allowed to run it into the ocean. Go shut up. But you know, it's at least I'll tell you, we get a lot of snow, but it isn't like people think. We're not living in igloos and wearing mucklucks and, you know, that kind of thing. It's more, you just learn to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's you have moments where it is insane, and but I like to tell people, you guys drive in that weather, and it's like, oh wow, this is dangerous, it's horrible, and in Canada, it's like, here, hold my coffee and watch this. You know, you just get used to it. Although, trust me, we got those drivers where it's like, why are you out in this? I don't think we want to know what that was.
That was me. I'm going outside to smoke a butt.
There you go.
Just put my jacket on.
You must have heard me rolling mine, did you? You're trying to, you know, the whole reefing hobby in Canada, it's funny. You hear about chillers, and we're like, what's that? That's called opening a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, it's the same thing with heaters. You gotta. That's going to be my next acquisition. I think I'm going to go with the Cobalt Neotherms because they got the digital thermometer right on them. They're pretty accurate.
I love mine.
Yeah, I'm sold on it. Right, I've waited. I know the 200s failed on Joey, and I've noticed that the 200 is no longer available. The 200 watt. So I'm guessing that they just had such a bad run of them, and it left such a bad taste, no pun intended, in people's mouths when they failed, that they just never put them back out.
Joey lost them a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
they reported like some crazy. I mean, I have no idea what the number was, but some crazy number that they lost that year just because Joey said that.
Well, and it's so true. If you think about what happened,
it was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
I mean, probably maybe even more. I don't even know.
And then to kind of do a shrug and go, Adam, you know, like you cost this guy tens of thousands of dollars because your heater failed. You killed his prize stingrays, right? You know, Buddy somehow lived through that. I have no idea how he managed to survive it. Well, I guess a test of how tough an arowana is, and messed up his house.
Yep.
You know, like, geez, you know, and that was a heater. You know, normally a heater failure is, that's it. It just electrocutes the tank or it does whatever. For him to, you know, I guess it damaged all the walls in his basement. And the insurance company wouldn't cover anything because it's not UL listed. So I try and tell everybody, remember, it doesn't matter. You think a big name company you're buying from is UL listed. Surprise.
Yeah.
Cobalt Aquatics, they are not. None of their stuff is insurable. Neither is Jabo, of course, right? In fact, I think unless it's made by Hagen, Rolf Hagen stuff, I don't think most of it's covered. I think Phoenix is, maybe. I don't remember for sure. You'd have to look at the box. If you don't see CSA and UL, it's not. So
heaters are just bound to break on you. I have found. Hopefully, hopefully when they break in the off position.
I try to replace mine like every 3 years, 2-3 years.
Yeah, I've had one fail. I had a Jaeger fail, and the wife looked at it, thought it looked funny, and instead of erring on the side of caution, just went to move it to the other side of the sump while we were just cleaning up some stuff. And she got electrocuted and ended up in the hospital.
Mm.
Now, that's why everything in my house is GFCI when it's around the tanks, right? So, yeah, thankfully, no permanent injury or long-lasting effects. But yeah, it actually set the muscle in her arm off with the enzyme release. That usually is a heart attack indicator, right? So they were worried about her heart. So that was a few hours of waiting for them to go, nope, okay, she's good. But made her sick.
Sure, what you do with every electrocution is the EKG and cardiac enzyme test.
Yep. So they got an enzyme. You got it exactly. They got an enzyme reading. So they, we're gonna hold you here. You know. So there you go. You know, one cheap heater. You know, Jaegers are cheap and they're usually pretty good, but this one had a crack. I got a picture of it. I'll put it in a video. I think I did. But yeah, there's a picture of it. You can see that it's all rusted inside in the crack, and it was still working. And it was probably I would imagine it was putting voltage in my tank. But it was in the sump, so.
I have 2 Jaegers.
Yeah. No, I think that's my next acquisition is going to be a couple of Cobalt Neotherms for the big tank and a good one for the 20. So I can lay it flat where I want it and out of the way and just keep an eye on it. And BRS did that test on them, and they're rock solid. So it is unfortunate, though, that 200-watt one that did. You know, I didn't know about the blowback that they got from that, but they should have. That was a really, really, really crappy thing they did with him. You know, didn't even offer to replace the heaters. That's the one that got me. Like, you didn't even offer him, you know, up or down heaters. You just shrugged at him. Really? Yeah. So. Hello, chat folks. There's only 4 people left. Is that really it? It's Lisa and you two. And Bubba, I'm betting. That's all right. I don't want to stay on too late tonight anyway. We'll stay on until about maybe 2 at the latest. Because those boys overseas are going to be getting on soon. Yeah. Yeah, they were on since, what, 4 o'clock yesterday morning? Paul and the boys?
Yeah, they've been on even before that.
Oh, yeah, that's... Don't get me wrong, I'm all about it, but it's...
I forget what time... I don't remember what time I was on until last night. Maybe like 1:30 or so?
Yeah.
1:30, 2 o'clock, and then everybody kind of left, and then I was just sitting there watching a movie all night, and then apparently like 4 a.m. everybody else jumped back on. I was like, great. Nobody texted me?
Yeah, really. I'm probably going to do a lot of these, like, you know, come on around 10 or 11 o'clock at night and shoot the breeze, just different topics. Try to keep it on fish, generally, or coral. So I've learned a ton, actually, hanging around you guys. You know, just different things, that like different ways to skin the cat, so to speak, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
compared to what I knew like a year and a half ago to what I know now is night and day.
Oh, man.
Oh, Angelic's still here, so I'm guessing...
All right, are any of you guys planning on going to the Title of the Garden things end of July?
Seriously debating it. I'm going to see if we can swing it, because we both got to get our, what do you call it again, passports renewed.
Passports, yeah.
That's a long trip. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's 7.5 hours for me.
Yeah.
But I was talking to O, and I think we might rent a car and head over and maybe, you know, pick up 2 people along the way or something.
Where is he, in Ohio?
Yeah, Ohio.
What
Akron, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
Yeah, they're near Cleveland too, I would assume.
Yeah,
Rico's always talking about LeBron James's house.
So
I think
for
it's
me
Akron, but I could be wrong.
Akron? So for me to get there is 16 hours and 12 minutes to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could shave that 12 minutes off.
Yeah. Do 120. Yeah. Now, I might, what I might actually do then, I'm old enough, I can get away with it. I'll probably fly in, rent a car, and pop out and stay overnight. You know, there's not a whole, like, I won't go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm a musician. That thing's so full of crap.
If you like amusement parks, there's a really cool amusement park over there.
Oh, might do that.
Yeah, it's is it Cedar Point, or am I thinking of a different one? I know there's a really cool amusement park there, but I think it's Cedar Point, but I could be 100% wrong.
So definitely a Six Flags or something like that then.
It's like its own thing. I know they have like a really famous roller coaster there.
Right. Well, it's a good thing I lost some weight and I can get on it.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah, roller coasters and me don't mix that well.
Yeah.
6'2", 6'2", 265 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 6 foot, and I topped out before the heart attack at close to 400 pounds,
Man.
and then dropped 120 pounds, and I'm down. I think I'm down around 265 now. So I'm fairly fit. I mean, I'm unhealthy as hell, but that's besides the point. Let's not even go there.
I went to a Six Flags in the fall, and my sister-in-law really wanted to go on the wooden roller coaster, and nobody wanted to go on with her. So I was like, "Screw it, I'll go on with her." God, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I just fit, just hit the first click, and yeah, it was a little tight everywhere.
I bet it was.
Yeah, and then you think you can do everything you did 20 years ago.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I would roller coasters all the time when I was 15.
Well, it's funny. Somebody asked me. I was talking to Angelic in there. He's 42. I'm 46. Right, and it's like you don't seem to recall the fact you got older. It's like what I said to a friend of mine one time. I keep forgetting I had a heart attack at 40. And it's like I don't even think about it now. You know what I mean? It did enter my mind for a long time after, but moving furniture, chucking stuff on trucks, shoveling snow, just you don't even think about it. Oh, you're a youngin'. You're just in that age bracket for me, Lisa. There you go. My wife's 34. No. Not sure what that's all about, but you're 32. There we go.
I'm 38.
You almost died last December. What happened to you? What on earth could happen to a lovely young woman who doesn't look like she's drastically overweight or... That's what I always tell people. Don't look at somebody and think because they're overweight, they're unhealthy. I know thin people that are royally messed up. Oh, it's a bit of TMI. Well, that's okay. Do not share. I'm going to call it gross lady stuff. Yeah. I had a bowel obstruction at 43 that almost killed me. Look at that. We have something in common. Yeah. And you went septic. I got lucky. I didn't go septic, but it was complete blockage. Yeah. So everyone asks me what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and it's an NG tube up my nose. This is the worst thing that's ever been done to me.
I put those in all the time.
Absolutely. It's like you're drowning because I couldn't understand what the water was for. Actually, my wife said the funniest thing I ever said to anybody was when they told me to go out and have a smoke, and that after that I wasn't going to be able to leave anymore. And I'm like, okay, they're going to be doing something here prior to me going upstairs. And because what it was, of course, I was throwing up because I'm blocked up. So she comes in and she's got the tube, gloves, KY jelly, and a glass of water. And I looked at her and said, I don't know what you got planned, but you can leave me out of it. Yeah.
I bet you stopped throwing up though after they put the NG tube in.
Yeah, I did. Couldn't stop gagging though. I got a wicked gag reflex, so it was hard, but I mean it was better than the catheter. Let me tell you. Go ahead.
I find most people take the catheter better than they do the NG tubes.
Well, the thing is it's marked on my chart. I have a latex allergy. What is a catheter made of? So they put this thing on me, and it was just like they set me on fire, right? I'm just like, it was just miserable.
Yeah.
It was one of those situations I tell everybody. It's, that's why people hate hospitals, is there's nothing good of it. Oh, you felt better after. Yeah, but it didn't help the stuff before.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like one of those things, like you tell people, like this hobby, me being diabetic, I have to watch out for infections, right? So I constantly on my arm, I will catch, if I've been in the tank, I'll just see a little dot, a little of something, and I have to treat it like it's a full blown. And it's not a big deal, but it's going to be that day when I look at it and see the red lines and go, yep, I got to go to the hospital. And I have it on my chart that I have a saltwater fish tank. so that if they got to look for something strange that's causing me a problem, they know to look for that first. So, because saltwater tanks are dirty, folks. That's all I've been told, anyway, from a doctor's point of view. You know. But yeah.
So are door handles.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is. Trying to tell people, like, I love this. You got to come to work. You're sick as a dog. But I'm sick. Yeah, it don't matter. But I'm going to spread to everyone else and cause more problems for the business. Doesn't matter.
Just a body. I work in a hospital, and if you had the flu, they wouldn't want you to call out.
Which is the worst place to go with the flu.
Yeah.
And you know that for a fact. If you work at a hospital, what's the worst thing you can do is have somebody who's sick, truly just the flu that can handle it, just stay home, but go to work in a hospital where you have an elderly or a child who's got an immune deficiency problem or some kind of, immune problem, and you're just spreading that around. It's not your fault. You know what I mean? Technically. But yeah, that's welcome to the chronic world of employers versus, the way things should be. I don't know, boys. I think that was a long day of other people's streams. That really was. I think we're all talked out.
Yeah, I was about to jump off anyway. The baby fell asleep, so that means I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, get that sleep now, bud. Because he's not, she is guy, boy or girl?
I got 2 girls.
2 girls? You got twins?
No, I got a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old.
And a 3-month-old. God bless you. Mine's grown. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, no. The 3-year-old is getting out of diapers and all that good stuff, and finally getting potty trained and kind of being on her own a little bit, and then it's like, yep, here you go, start all over.
Yep. No, I got one daughter and I got my stepson. They're both the same age. I got lucky. They both turned 19 and kind of went off, and I don't, dad doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. So it's fine. Yeah, good night, guys. I think we'll pull it. It's almost 2 anyway. And we'll all see each other tomorrow, I am sure.
All right.
Good night, guys.
See you guys.
Anytime. Night, Bubba. Night, Lisa. Night, Jeff, and Jeff.
Yeah.
Good night, Angelic.
See ya.